A very good evening, students. Um, I have shared a Word file with you containing all the Prolog programs, and some of them we have covered in class. The remaining, which are a part of the syllabus and we have not covered in class, I will be sharing videos with you. And this is the first video in which I will be discussing depth first search in Prolog. So we all understand what is depth first search. Depth first search is a search in a graph where the nodes have a peer-to-peer relation. Any node can be connected to any other node. So in a graph, we have to visit all the nodes once. That is depth first search. So, and how depth first search proceeds? First, we visit the root or the source, and then the first child, the child of the first child, grandchild, and so on, till the time we either cover all the nodes or we move to the siblings. So here I am taking an example in Prolog. I am representing the edge between two vertices using S predicate. So S A comma B means that there is a vertex A, there is a vertex B, and there is an edge between A and B. So S represents the edge between A and B vertex. Similarly, SAC, so A is related with B and C, B is related with D and E, C is related to F and G, D is related to H, E is related to I, E is also related to J, and F is related to K. So some configuration is there. You can draw this on a piece of paper for better understanding so that you clearly understand how the graph looks. Now there are vertices from A till I, J, K till K. And out of these all vertices, F vertex and J vertex are given special status that they are the goal nodes. So if in a graph we are trying to find out the goal node, so in our case F and J are the goal nodes. So what we want is when we are searching in this graph, we will stop when we will find either F or J. Till the time F or J is not visited, we will keep on traversing the graph, or we will visit all the nodes and we will exhaust the nodes that we can visit further. Now then we have the function member. Now this function, how this particular function, I am highlighting this function. How this is working, it is receiving two arguments. It is receiving X, that is the node that we want to find out whether it is a member of the list that we are receiving as the second argument. As you can see, the list is enclosed in square brackets. Within the square brackets, we write X, pi, and underscore. What is the meaning of each of these individual elements? A list is a collection of values or atoms which are separated by space or commas, and X here happens to be the first item in the list. This pipe means that we are trying to segregate the list into two parts. The first item separate and the remaining items go in the underscore part. Underscore we have already discussed in class is anonymous. It can be anything. So here what we are trying to check is if the value X that we have received, the variable X, whatever value it contains, if that value is same as the first value of the list that we have received, that means this X is now a member of this list, so we will return true. If it is not so, if it is not the first element, then in the second call to member predicate, we are saying that if X is not the first element is anonymous, anything, then we will look in the tail. So for that we are calling member function with X tail. So this will call this function again. Again, if the first two arguments will match, then we will return true. If it will not match, we will come back here. Again, we will look in the tail. Then we have three more predicate definitions, and then we will be able to understand how this particular program is working. This solve is where the execution will start. Now we will receive the node or the source node from where we have to begin searching, and solution we will give as an empty pair of brackets because we don't know the solution as yet. But starting node we have to provide. Then we will invoke the depth first function predicate. In this there are three arguments. First is the path that we will be calculating in the subsequent definitions. Node is the starting node or the source node, and solution is the solution that we will be solving further. Now in the end, this path will be copied into this solution and it will be returned here as answer to the user, who will invoke solve with node and solution as nothing. Then the first definition of depth first search, it says that you have a certain path, it may be empty list as well. You have a starting node, and that node and can, if attached to the solution, if the node is the goal node, then return that node as a part of the path as the solution, because we have reached the goal node. You understand this? If node which we have supplied here, this node is a goal node, is the goal that we want, then we want to append this node as the first element of path, club the two into solution and return this over here. If this node is not the goal node, the node we have supplied here is not the goal node, then what we want to do, this is the second case of second definition of the same predicate. Here we will receive the node and we will find a S predicate where node is the first member and node 1 is the second member. So we will try to find out to who all node is connected. Then whatever node is connected to, we call it node 1. Then we will check if node 1 is already a member of path. If it is already visited, we cannot visit it again. But if it is not a member of path variable, then what we will do, we will call depth first search again with node as the first node and path combined together, node 1 as the new node, and solution we have to find. So now what we are doing, we are calling depth first search again with this node 1 as the source node. So in this dummy execution, when we solve with A as the starting node, then what will happen? We will come back here. A is the source node. Now A is connected with B. Now node 1 becomes B. So B is connected with D. Node 1 becomes D. Then D is connected with H and node 1 becomes H. Now H is not connected to any of the goal nodes. So what will happen? We will not get a solution here. Let us see what it is giving. Yes, so this is not the solution. So what we will do, this clause will not become true. So we will backtrack and we will try for the second value. So what we will do is, H is not connected with anything. So we will backtrack from here. D, H, we will backtrack. And this D came from here. So now we will follow B, E. So E is connected with I and I is not connected with anything. So we backtrack, we go to next value of E and E is connected with J. So this becomes your first solution, as you can see here. So we get A, B, E, J as the path. Similarly, the second solution is calculated using the semicolon. If the meaning of these functions is clear, you can always take a pen and paper and find out the values. Alright, I will stop here. Thank you.